Be prepared. Because May 17th isn't just another day, it's a cosmic strike point. The Sun is aligning with Uranus in a rare Cazimi. And when that happens, the system doesn't stay stable. It short circuits. You may already feel it. The sudden spikes in emotion, the strange disruptions, the impulse to change everything and nothing all at once. This isn't random chaos. It's a solar electrical awakening, and your field is under direct influence. But here's the thing. Not all energy is meant to be absorbed. Some must be avoided, especially now. If you've been feeling scattered, overstimulated, or even electrically charged in your skin, this is the video you were meant to find. Because the alignment is happening, and you're not imagining the static, keep watching, because these are the days where clarity doesn't come from thinking harder. It comes from protecting your frequency like your future depends on it. At exactly May 17th, the Sun moves into Cazimi with Uranus, a moment where the planet of disruption, rebellion, and awakening sits in the heart of the Sun. And when that happens, nothing stays the same. Not inside you, not around you. This isn't symbolic, this is electrical. It's the kind of transit that shakes your core without permission and asks, what truth have you been too afraid to say out loud? Cazimi is an ancient astrological term, meaning in the heart of the Sun. It describes the brief window where a planet isn't burned by solar intensity out. It's illuminated by it. But when the planet is Uranus, illumination doesn't come gently. It arrives like lightning, sudden, inevitable, uncomfortable. Can you feel it already? The restlessness in your limbs? The weird emotional flashes, the way you can't seem to sit still, not just physically, but energetically. It's like something inside you wants to break open, but you don't even know what's trying to get out. That's Uranus Cazimi. It's not here to comfort you. It's here to wake you. And right now, under this alignment, the old systems you've relied on, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, are starting to glitch. Why? Because Uranus doesn't update what's outdated. It deletes it. This isn't about small change. This is quantum redirection. Expect strange moments where you feel pulled towards something new and unfamiliar, but deeply resonant. Expect insights that come out of nowhere, cutting through confusion like a blade. And expect discomfort when you try to cling to patterns that no longer match your field. You might even find yourself asking, why is everything I once trusted suddenly feeling unstable? Because it is. The structure of your energetic field is being recalibrated to match a higher voltage. And instability is not failure. It's a sign that your old alignment can't hold your new truth. There's a reason Uranus rules lightning. Not because it's violent, but because it's instantaneous. It doesn't ask. It strikes. It clears space for what you were too afraid to choose on your own. And during Cazimi, that strike happens right through your solar center, your identity, your soul light, your consciousness. You're not just thinking differently, you're becoming different. But that transformation doesn't always feel expansive. Sometimes it feels like disorientation, like standing in the middle of a timeline that just collapsed on itself, while a new one forms beneath your feet. Have you felt that? That sense that what once made sense now feels irrelevant? That's not failure. That's the moment chaos becomes clarity. Not because everything is resolved, but because you've stopped pretending you don't know the truth. And that truth? It's vibrating just under the surface, waiting for you to stop tuning into fear long enough to finally feel it. So, if you're feeling the pressure, the emotional static, the energetic spikes, the strange impulse to disconnect from everything, breathe. This Cazimi isn't here to destroy you. It's here to reveal you, to burn away the noise, the masks, the distortions, and leave only what's undeniably you in the center of your light. And from that space, the rest will begin to reorganize. Because when Uranus aligns with the sun, your soul's rebellion becomes your revelation. What this rare alignment is doing to your energy field. Let's get honest. You've probably felt off for days. Like your skin doesn't fit, your thoughts are too loud, and your emotions are all speaking at once in different languages. You're not broken, you're being rewired. When Uranus enters the heart of the sun, the body doesn't just feel it, it translates it. Your nervous system is electrical, so is Uranus. And during Cazimi, the solar core, the most concentrated point of consciousness, absorbs that Uranian current and blasts it through every layer of your field. This is why your hands have been tingling, why your heart rate feels unpredictable, why your sleep is either hyper-vivid or non-existent. You're not sick. You're syncing with something much bigger than your calendar. Uranus Cazimi doesn't touch you gently. It surges through your system, looking for weak links. And when it finds them, the beliefs, emotions, habits, or connections that aren't aligned with your future frequency, it starts to destabilize them. Not to punish you, but to free you. So if you've noticed strange sensations lately, buzzy limbs, headaches behind the eyes, or even pressure in your chest that comes and goes, that's the voltage recalibrating your field. You're becoming more sensitive, not because you're fragile, but because your field is expanding beyond what your old nervous system was trained to carry. Uranus isn't just the planet of chaos, it's the planet of radical truth. And when it fuses with the sun, your energetic body becomes a truth receptor, filtering out illusion and tuning into signal. But that tuning hurts when you're still holding on to noise. This is why you may feel hypersensitive to sound, light, tech, even people. Why your body craves grounding but refuses to sit still. Why conversations feel harder to track. Your mind is buffering while your spirit updates the code. Ever opened 10 browser tabs and watched your computer freeze? That's what your energy field is doing right now. Running too much input on a system that's already trying to download an entirely new operating system. And yet, underneath it all, there's a strange calm, a knowing. Because deep within the overstimulation lies a pulse, quiet but constant, guiding you towards something new. This Cazimi is turning your energy field into an antenna. You're picking up signals from versions of yourself that are already operating at the level you're stepping into. And yes, that means you'll feel stretched, torn between who you were and who you're becoming. But this tension is sacred. It's in the tension that recalibration happens. And your job right now isn't to make it make sense. It's to stay with the current, to not resist the weirdness, to not fight the fog or the flashes. Because your aura is becoming more electric, and that electricity is burning off layers of programming you didn't even know were active. So ask yourself, What parts of me feel exposed right now? Where am I most reactive? That's where Uranus is doing its deepest work. Not to tear you apart, but to remove what no longer conducts truth. And as your field adjusts, you'll notice a strange thing. The more erratic your outer world feels, the more your inner knowing strengthens. Not logically, energetically. The body is learning how to recognize resonance before reason. And in a Uranian solar window, that's not optional, it's survival. So if the chaos has been building, trust it. If the stillness is gone, honor it. If your energy feels foreign, stay curious. Because right now, the sun isn't just lighting up the sky, it's activating your original code. There are days when the air itself feels charged, like you're walking through a signal that hasn't quite arrived but is already pulsing through your skin. And during a Uranus Cazimi, that signal isn't metaphorical. It's real, electrical, alive. The alignment between Uranus and the sun doesn't just light up the sky. It enters your nervous system like a voltage you didn't ask for but can't ignore. And while it's upgrading you, even the most subtle interference can throw off your entire calibration. You're in a state of inner translation. Downloads are trying to land. Frequencies are shifting. Timelines are flexing. And what you allow into your field during this window will either stabilize your evolution or splinter it into noise. There are disruptors hiding in plain sight right now, not because they're inherently harmful, but because your system is too open to filter them without consequence. What once felt neutral now feels sharp. What once soothed now overstimulates. This is not a failure. It's a sign that your energetic receptors are becoming more refined. Have you felt it? That strange agitation after a casual scroll. That emotional whiplash from a conversation that didn't seem that deep. That tension behind your eyes after too much tech, even when nothing bad happened. These are the signals. They're telling you something simple. Your field can no longer tolerate what doesn't resonate. You don't need to go into hiding. But you do need discernment. This moment calls for energetic hygiene, for stepping back from places, people, and patterns that fill your field with static, when what you actually need is stillness. Not silence, not isolation, but stillness. The kind of inner quiet where messages can land without distortion. The kind where you're not constantly reacting, fixing, explaining. The kind where the truth doesn't have to fight through clutter to be heard. You might feel guilty for pulling back. But what if pulling back is the most aligned thing you can do right now? What if declining the call, skipping the reply, saying no to the noise is not disconnection, but devotion? Not retreat, but reverence. You are being restructured from the inside out, and that requires space. Not emotional space, frequency space. Space in your mind, in your gut, in your field, space to metabolize light without interference. Because when Uranus enters the heart of the sun, your body becomes an antenna, and every interaction becomes a transmission. The question is, what are you absorbing? What's taking up space that was meant for your next code? What static are you calling comfort simply because you're used to it? What voices, online or otherwise, are speaking over your own knowing? Right now, your system doesn't want stimulation. It wants coherence. It wants rest, simplicity, slowness. Not because you're shutting down, but because you're finally running energy that's too precise to waste on distortion. So if all you can do today is breathe, drink water, turn your phone off, and stare at the sky, do it. If your body doesn't want to explain itself, honor that. If your mind goes quiet in the middle of a thought, follow it. There is wisdom in that pause. You're not missing out. You're moving inward because your future self needs clarity, and clarity can't land in a field filled with interference. That's not rejection of the world. That's integration of the self. Avoid the disruptors, not from fear, but from trust. Because something electric is trying to find you, and the quieter your signal, the faster it gets through. It hits without warning. A wave of emotion so sharp it takes your breath. One moment you're grounded, clear, steady. The next, you're shaking, flushed, or suddenly staring at a screen with no memory of what you were about to do. This isn't moodiness. This isn't distraction, it's feedback, and your body is the receptor. During a Uranus Cazimi, your system is being flooded with electricity that isn't metaphorical, it's vibrational. Uranus is not just a planet of rebellion, it's the current that cracks open the places where you've gone numb. And when it sits inside the solar core, as it does now, that current doesn't whisper, it pulses through your nervous system, through your skin, through the energetic threads that hold your identity in place. That's why everything feels louder, why your mind starts glitching halfway through a sentence, why your phone won't respond, your Wi-Fi drops, or your apps crash for no logical reason. Technology is an extension of your mental field. And when that field is overcharged, it reflects back through your devices. It's not just Mercury retrograde that disrupts tech. It's alignment like this. When the Sun fuses with Uranus, you're interfacing directly with source-level downloads. And anything not built to carry that much light, inside or outside of you, will start to flicker. And then there's the emotional chaos. But it's not chaos in the way you think. It's a form of release, a form of decoding. The sudden bursts of anger, the grief that pours out for no reason, the unexpected laughter in the middle of a difficult memory. These aren't emotional swings, they're emotional extractions. The surge of light you're carrying right now is flushing out the unresolved energy that's been clinging to your field like static for years. You're not spiraling, you're emptying. If you've been hypersensitive to light, to sound, to texture, even to the tone of someone's voice, it's not hypersensitivity, it's attunement. Your senses are adjusting to pick up on subtle frequencies you weren't tuned into before. What once felt neutral now feels jarring. What once felt familiar now feels like noise. This is the dissonance of awakening. And in the presence of Uranus, that awakening happens fast. This is also why your body is reacting in strange ways. Skin buzzing, pulse racing, restless legs, sudden heat, or cold without a physical cause. Your physical vessel is translating electrical data into organic movement. You might not understand the message, but your cells do. And they're recalibrating in real time. So when you feel the spike, the glitch, the overflow, stop interpreting it as failure. Don't rush to fix it. Don't panic. Just breathe. Your system isn't breaking down. It's buffering. Pausing between who you were and who you're becoming. And in that pause, Everything that's misaligned gets exposed. It's normal right now to feel like you can't keep up with your own experience. It's normal to be overstimulated and yet deeply bored, to be inspired and then suddenly exhausted, to feel everything and nothing at once. This is not inconsistency. This is recalibration. You're learning how to hold more energy without collapsing. And part of that learning includes short-circuiting the parts of you that still operate on old energetic software. So the next time the glitch hits, the screen freezes, the words disappear, the emotions surge, don't fight it. Ground your feet, press your hands to your heart, slow your breath, and say to yourself, this is how light enters the system. Not always with calm, but always with purpose. You are not the chaos. You are the container learning how to hold clarity without cracking. And this moment, uncomfortable as it may be, is part of the ignition sequence that activates the next version of you. Don't interrupt it. Trust it. What your body is trying to tell you through instability. You wake up feeling like someone else slept in your skin. Your limbs don't feel like yours. Your hunger changes. Your heartbeat stutters. You try to carry on, but your body doesn't respond the way it did yesterday. And maybe you're wondering, why do I feel so disconnected from myself? The answer isn't illness, it's information. During a Uranus Cazimi, your body becomes a messenger, not of logic, but of electricity. You are not just receiving light, you are embodying voltage. And voltage doesn't always arrive as clarity. Sometimes it arrives as instability. That shaky feeling when you're grounded but still dizzy. That ache in your spine that has no physical origin. That wave of nausea or heat that rushes through you after speaking the truth. These are not symptoms of weakness. They are messages from a system in transition. Your body is trying to keep pace with an energetic update that is too fast for language. And in its effort to hold this new frequency, it starts pushing out what doesn't belong. Not just toxins, but thoughts, attachments, emotional debris. This is why you may feel overly tired, then wildly restless. Why you crave sugar one moment and silence the next. Why your skin feels too tight or your breath too shallow, even when nothing seems wrong. The truth is, something is wrong, but not with your health. With the frequency you're trying to operate from, while resisting the one you've already stepped into. Have you noticed how certain foods suddenly feel heavy? How your usual routines exhaust you more than they used to? How rest doesn't feel like rest because your body isn't tired, it's integrating. That's the intelligence of the body revealing itself. Your nervous system is running diagnostics on the life you're living and flagging everything that's no longer aligned. The discomfort isn't a punishment. It's a realignment process, and your body is leading it with or without your permission. And what about those sensations that don't make sense? The pressure in your chest during a casual moment, the tears that surface during silence, the full body urge to move even when there's nowhere to go. These are not moods. They are movement. Your energetic body is processing stimulus from multiple layers of self, and the only way it can release what no longer fits is through physical language. So instead of asking, "What's wrong with me?" try asking, "What is my body trying to free me from?" Because that tightness, it's not just stress, it's a boundary being tested. That fatigue, it's not laziness, it's data overload. That headache, it's your crown chakra widening faster than your thoughts can catch up. That stomach twist, it's your intuition screaming louder than your logic. And that breathlessness, it's you catching up to your next self. Uranus is the planet of sudden change, but your body doesn't shift suddenly. It resists, it delays, it asks questions, it throws up symptoms like flares, warning you that the current you're running is hotter than what your habits can hold. And your job isn't to numb it. Your job is to listen. Because if you listen, without fear, without rushing to name it wrong, you'll begin to notice something else. Beneath the chaos, there's coherence. Beneath the ache, there's awareness. Your body isn't malfunctioning, it's mapping, creating new neural pathways, rewriting emotional codes, updating the way your field processes pressure, connection, truth. You are not fragile, you're electric. And electricity doesn't move in straight lines. It surges, it dips, it flickers before it stabilizes. So let it flicker. Let the body shake, cry, tremble, sweat, stretch. Let the body speak in its wild, non-linear language. It knows what to do. All you have to do is not override the signal. You felt it building. The tension behind your eyes, the current under your skin, the quiet pressure in your chest that whispers something is coming, even if you couldn't name it. And now, at the end of this Uranus Cazimi, when everything feels both amplified and stripped bare, one truth remains. This shift was never here to break you. It was here to ignite you. Integration isn't calm, it's collision. A meeting point between what you once were and what you're starting to remember you came here to be. And while most people wait for clarity to signal that change has settled, you already know better. Because what's happening now doesn't feel like understanding. It feels like electricity. You weren't meant to process this moment through thought. You were meant to embody it. This is why nothing has made sense. Why routines broke down. Why conversations felt strange. Why the people around you seemed distant or overly intense. The field changed. And as the solar core wrapped itself around Uranus, it sent a frequency through your own core, one that seeks authenticity at all costs. And authenticity burns. It burns away the masks. It short-circuits the patterns you kept out of habit. It disrupts anything that isn't truly yours. And that disruption is sacred, because under every breakdown, there is something waiting to be born. Not a new version of you, but the undistorted one that was buried under roles, reaction, routine. Integration begins when you stop trying to get back to normal and start asking what normal ever really meant. Did it serve you or did it numb you? Did it keep you safe or did it keep you small? This alignment wasn't just cosmic theater, it was an activation sequence. And now, your nervous system, your emotional body, even your timeline is trying to stabilize around a signal that doesn't match your past, but feels like your origin. So, of course it's uncomfortable. So, of course you feel stretched. So, of course you feel raw and undone and strangely free. That's not regression. That's resonance catching up to embodiment. What you're feeling now is not a crash. It's a re-entry. You're coming back to yourself, stripped of the noise, emptied of the illusion. And that emptiness isn't hollow. It's potential. It's your next reality choosing a space to land. This is where most people check out. They run from the silence, they fill the pause, they call it confusion. But you stayed. You breathed through the static. You trusted the flicker. You let your system shake without forcing it to perform. And in doing so, you proved the thing no one told you were allowed to believe. That you were never the glitch, you were the upgrade. So if today feels quieter, let it. If you feel slow, soft, still, honor it. That's your field settling. That's your nervous system closing the loop. That's your spirit acknowledging that the most sacred shifts rarely come in fire. They come in light. And this time, the light didn't just surround you. It lit from within. You were never meant to hold the old energy forever. You were only meant to carry it until your system could finally spark clean. And now that it has, now that you've felt the power of stillness, the intelligence of your own body, the truth that speaks in pulses instead of words, everything else will start to fall into place. Don't rush to explain it. Don't run back to the noise. Let your field complete the transmission. Because this Cazimi wasn't a flare. It was a fuse. And something in you, something holy, honest, and electric, just turned on. Let it stay on.